Arrowmount landed third, and they're clear of the remainder with Elfride staying on. But it's Coachman from Barbarian as they race well inside the final furlong. Coachman by 2 or 3 lengths from Barbarian and Barrowmount, and Coachman goes on to win from Barbarian and Barrowmount. And
beaten Guillemot, heading to the final 2 flights. Can they get past the Wise Traveller and Bradley Roberts? Tellart is trying to close the gap. Then in behind, San Pedro de Sanan, Bird on the Wire, and Ratuti UT heading towards 2 out. The Wise Traveller, good jump, still in front by a couple of lengths here to the ridden along. Tellart in second, San Pedro de Sanan, Bird on the Wire. The final flight, the Wise Traveller leading by 2.5 lengths there. To in second place is Tellart. They're clear as San Pedro de Sanan and Bird on the Wire. Pulling out plenty is the Inform, the Wise Traveller, Charlie Longston and Bradley Roberts.
So we're only a couple of minutes away from our first race at Huntingdon. This 135 is the Directors Conditional Jockeys Handicap Hurdle, 3 mile 1 furlong. Catuaba is a 6-5 favourite for Charlie Longston and Lily Pinchin, 11-4 for Jack the Farmer. When it rains, it pours is 9-2, 8-1 for Ratu Yeti, and Tellart is the 12-1 outside of the 5 as we head back to Nick Lightfoot.
Thanks, Jess. Yes, and Catuaba to try and beat Jack the Farmer again, different terms this time, but a much less exposed horse who has won, and Jack the Farmer hasn't yet done so. They meet again after Warwick at the start of the month. Jack the Farmer has run since then. Should note as well, thank you to the owners as well of Ratuti Uti, who've confirmed that this is to be her last race. Ratuti Uti, who I saw her run all right last week at Stratford when some of them were crying enough. She was still boxing on. And if there is to be a place appropriate for a last race for Ratuti Uti, it's here. She was a dual winner at Huntingdon, her 2 British wins last spring. So bringing her back here in hope and maybe a bit of expectation that at her favourite venue, she'll be running all right. Ratuti Uti is going to be retired after today. She's got a little bit to do, but we'll see. The betting has centred around Catuaba beating Jack the Farmer again. Last night's markets for what they were worth on the eve of the bank holiday, Catuaba certainly less fancied than Jack the Farmer, but at the time building up to the race itself, it's been all about that horse to go and win again. 1 from 1 up in distance, 1 from 1 in handicaps as well. It was an improved performance from the front last time at Warwick. Gritty from the top of the home stretch as well, as Jack the Farmer and another rival snapped at heels. In fact, Jack the Farmer level from around the last hurdle or thereabouts, but Catuaba was having none of it. And 11-10, hardening all the time. Jack the Farmer 3-1. When it rains, it pours. Maybe with stamina doubts. It's got a question or two to answer. We'll see. Good afternoon to Mark Slater.
Let's wait and see if the starter's happy here. And let them go. They're off for the Directors Conditional Jockeys Handicap Hurdle. They're racing over 3 miles and a furlong for the opener on the card. And they jump a couple of flights in the straight. Catuaba disputing it with Tellart as they come towards the first. And Jack the Farmer crossing it in 3rd place. Ratuti Uti and the white face to When It Rains, It Pours at the back of the field. On towards flight number 2 as they head up towards the stands for the first time. At both the first 2 flights, Catuaba was a little out to his left, but still cleared it safely enough and setting a good pace here in company with Tellart as they make their way past the stands first time round. They've got a 6-length lead over Jack the Farmer, who's in 3rd. And there's 3 lengths to When It Rains, It Pours. And Ratuti Uti at the back of the field, so a good 12 lengths behind the pace setters under Lewis Stones. So they'll make a right-hand swing now out towards the far side with Catuaba They're being pressed for the lead by Tellard as they make the run out towards the far side on this first circuit. And they've got 8 lengths in hand now over the chasing third. That is Jack the Farmer. As they swing into the back straight, and the pace is a strong one. Probably 10 lengths now back to the third, and a similar gap of 10 more to the fourth and fifth. When it rains, it pours in fourth. And Ratuta Uti back in fifth place, but now 20 lengths behind the leader, Katuaba. The Warwick scorer heads towards the first of 2 flights in the back straight. Only a length back to Tellart in second, the top weight. And then there's 12 lengths to Jack the Farmer as they jump the first on the far side. Jack the Farmer takes it safely in third. When it rains, it pours, just ahead of Ratuta Uti in fourth and fifth. The fourth and fifth have closed up on the third, only a 2-length break between third, fourth and fifth as they go towards the second of the 2 flights over on the far side. Katuaba setting this good gallop leads Tellart into the wings of the second of the 2 flights on the far side. Only 5 lengths now to Jack the Farmer, who in turn has increased the lead once again over it. When it rains, it pours. And Ratuta Uti having a last race today. She's going to be retired after this one. The last 2 wins have been here at Huntingdon under Lewis Stones. So looking to go out in fine style with Lewis in the saddle once again today. She's closed the gap certainly on the leader. There's now only 8 between first and last. The pace may have just steadied somewhat. It was a very strong one going into the back straight, coming out of the back straight and approaching the cross hurdle. It has relented a little, but still a decent gallop. And not for the first time, Katuaba was well out to his left, jumping that flight of hurdles. And leads Tellart into the straights, with Jack the Farmer now close up. And the field concertinaing with the cheek piece, Ratuta Uti on the right. And on the left, or when it rains, it pours, coming there to take closer order behind the leaders. So they swing into the straight and they head towards these 2 flights. The numbers 6 and 7 of the 12 they take in total. And Katuaba, who was too good for Jack the Farmer at Warwick last time, bidding to confirm the form from the front. And again, jumped markedly to the left as he did on the first circuit. Lily Pinchin in the saddle, as she was at Warwick. Tellart's in second, and then closing right up now, Jack the Farmer, Tom Buckley. As again, Katuaba went right across Jack the Farmer as they cross that flight that will be the last next time round. The back 2, patiently ridden. When it rains, it pours, and Ratuta Uti have closed right in on the front 3. And there's now only 5 lengths covering the field this time round in the Directors' Conditional Jockeys Handicap Hurdle. Katuaba has the lead as they make the run away from the stands, just under a circuit to go. 5 more flights to take. The next one will be over in the back straight. Jack the Farmer's moved up to share second with the grey Tellart, and then waiting in the wings. When it rains, it pours, Tristan Durrell and Ratuta Uti and Lewis Stones. Heading out towards the far side of the track. Katuaba, Charlie Longston's runner, just over a length clear. Tellart's still in second, as he's been for most of the way, but only narrowly from Jack the Farmer, who's closed up in third, 3 parts of a length back. And then a length to the fourth as they make the run out towards the far side. The orange cap of When It Rains, It Pours, and Ratuta Uti very much on terms as they go towards the first in the back straights. This one 5 from the finish. Katuaba by 2 lengths coming into it. Jumps it well, as did the other 4. Tellart a clear second once again. Jack the Farmer being joined for third by When It Rains, It Pours. And only a length back to the patiently ridden Ratuta Uti. 1 more to take on the far side. Then they have the cross flight and 2 when they swing in. Katuaba's lead a length jumping this flight again out to the left, right across Jack the Farmer. He's done that horse no favours, his old rival, in this contest. When it rains, it pours, just the first one to be squeezed along at the back of the field, just coming off the bridle as they head towards the end of the back straight. Katuaba, Jack the Farmer, Ratuta Uti making a forward move up on the outside, travelling strongly for Lewis Stones, getting right into the argument, pushed along Tellart, just losing his place. When it rains, it pours, ridden at the back of the field. And it is Ratuta Uti. She's come from last to first over on the far side, and she'll come towards 3 out with the lead. She's over it from Katuaba, now being ridden along by Lily Pinchin in second place. And then 2 lengths back to the third, Jack the Farmer, driven. 4th place, Tellart. When it rains, it pours, struggling to pick up, and Ratuta Uti sent on off the final turns. 2 more flights to take, just over a couple of furlongs to travel as they swing in, and has now opened up a 4-length gap over Katuaba in second. Back in 3rd place, Jack the Farmer, then Tellart, and When It Rains, It Pours. But it is Ratuta Uti, Lewis Stones, heading towards the penultimate flight of hurdles, 3 or 4 lengths clear from Katuaba in second. Jack the Farmer has closed in as Katuaba falls there at 2 from home and hampered outnumbered Jack the Farmer in the process. Jack the Farmer 6 lengths behind Ratutayuti. Tellart's in third at the final flight. Ratutayuti has jumped it safely. This is her last race, and she's going to go out in great style with a third Huntingdon win. And Ratutayuti and Lewis Stones will come home, and what a tremendous performance to win in her final outing. Now she'll enjoy her retirement. Ratutayuti beats Jack the Farmer, then back in third Tellart, and in fourth place, When It Rains, It Pours.
Yeah, that was great. Well done to Ratutayuti, and connections as well, pointing her in the direction of a big bank holiday crowd at her favourite venue to go and win over this course and distance yet again. She was a dual winner over track and trip, 3 mile one at Huntingdon last spring. She's done it again here, and she made a huge move a few hurdles from home to go and take up the running after Kachuaba had just thrown away the chance. I assume something not quite right, maybe hurting a bit, to be jumping out to the left, markedly so. Ratutayuti going on and making that significant move. Good to see that Kachuaba is up, as I see it right in front of the grandstand. We'll take the concluding stages once again, by which time Ratutayuti, in the hands of Lewis Stones, had set sail for home. She negotiated this. No problem indeed, Kachuaba less so. There might have been an angle that the old rival of Kachuaba, Jack the Farmer, second to the aforementioned Kachuaba last time at Warwick, was beginning to gain slightly, but his losing run is now 18 in the career and came home a very, very well held second in the end. Did have to glance back at the performance actually mid-race of what Kachuaba was doing from Warwick last time, when taking into context what the horses jumped like today, and watching back the Warwick success last time, even though left-handed, of course, wasn't jumping left-handed at the Warwick venue. But I'm going to bring in the owner as well. Come on in, please do. Of Ratutayuti. You've just come, I beg your pardon, you've just come. You told me before the race that this is going to be a last race. Are you reconsidering?
I'll have to talk to Caroline, but the ground, the distance, the sun on her back, it's finally...
The venue.
The venue, finally come for her. Finally come for her this season. So it'll be well, that was quite easy, wasn't it?
It was, and she made in the hands of Lewis, a huge sort of mid-race move to go and take it up when Lewis was obviously delighted. I'll go let you get her in a few moments' time. But were you expecting off Stratford last time that she was in the right heart to bring her back here? Yeah.
She'd improved from Stratford, yeah. Yes, that was her best run at Stratford, and she got outpaced on the top end and then ran on and ran on.